Hello, Clix World, and welcome to the second episode of Our Clix Are Sealed. I'm Dennis, he's Stuart, and we're gonna get going.
How's it going, Dennis?
Not bad, not bad. Things are going really well, actually, for me over here, Clix World. Got some good pulls with our sealeds, and I think we've played enough games that we could have a kind of a closing comments on the JLU set.
Yeah, we can finally say goodbye to this set, even though it doesn't seem like it's been here that long after all the coronavirus stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. But with what? I don't know, a days, weeks with Fantastic Four coming out, we gotta say our opinions of this set.
Yeah, we got to be prepared for when we get everything for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly. So how would we go about this, Stuart? How are we gonna rate this for our viewers?
So we're going to break it down to a few different categories, and then in the end, we're going to give our rating out of 10 between each of us, and kind of come to a conclusion if this was a great set for Sealed or a terrible set for Sealed.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines.
So let's start kind of really vague. Let's say, what's your favorite figure to play in Sealed in this set?
Okay, for me, I'm just going to go with what I did pull. My favorite figure was the Atom. I was lucky enough to pull the Super Atom. He does work. He's annoying. And even if you're not using him as that Alpha Strike attacker from being carried, he's got that Outwit. He's got the Perplex Tiny, Turn a Friend. That was just a fun pull. It was great. It makes you think.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Justice League, which is always good in this set. But
Yes.
Perplex, Outwit, being tiny, being able to be carried, and also having that Precision Strike, be able to get in damage. He's hard to hit. He's always annoying, and he's just really effective.
He was never not doing anything. The Atom's my pick for Sealed experience.
My pick is going to be Uncommon Green Arrow. I always thought
down there.
40 points, 5 clicks. He's doing 3 damage. He has 8 range if you want. And then you can use like Smoke Cloud for free, Incap for free, Energy Explosion, and Penetrating Psychic Blast for free, depending on which click he's on. And that just really opens up his like the options, right?
And it's 40 points. You can't go wrong with that.
No, he's just so good. Being able to make potentially 3 attacks in a turn if you play it right.
Yeah.
It's just
okay. So those are our favorites. Do you have any least favorites you want to say?
Probably 001 Superman. The common Superman is just terrible.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one. I don't know if I have a different vote, really.
Why does he not have willpower? What is going on?
He has it, but later dial and, not Indom. This is Superman.
And he's 100 points. Is a third of your team for a charge character with no willpower. He's dead before he gets in.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing. I can't even put a different vote. At least favorite. I pulled him I think I pulled him in 2 boosters.
And you just never have to play him. You can always find something better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so let's break down the qualities of the set. Do you think this was a good set for theme teams?
It was a great set for theme team. No plural there. It was Justice League. If you could make a Justice League team almost every time, really.
I actually kind of find that a bad thing. It's nice that you can always make a theme team, but it's not interesting when you're forced to make a Justice League theme team every single game.
Oh, I'm right there with you. If you like Justice League, this is your set because you're going to go run a Justice League team. If it's, looking for some sealed complexity, no, there's no complexity to it. You make a Justice League team.
But the other problem with that, though, is that it actively detracts from certain figures that would be fun to play. Like I really love the rare Blight, who has his ranged poison.
Yes, you heard about him.
You never find room for him because he's not Justice League, and you can always make a Justice League team.
No, he was definitely one of those pieces WizKids puts in for the collectors of, oh, there's another Gotham City Underworld to go with all my other Gotham City Underworld pieces when we play for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sadly, you're right.
He's a great figure for Sealed.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine pulling that poison off?
But I really think that's a shame. It just really limits your options, even though it feels like it's easier to make a theme team. I would say this set kind of failed at theme teaming.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. We said it 100 times before. There's one team to play. If you were lucky enough to make it in Justice League, like you felt great just being different.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is support powers, because support powers are what run games of HeroClix. Was
Okay.
this a good set for support powers?
From my experience, I don't think I ever played a game I didn't have some form of support powers, like some form of leadership, outwit, perplex. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up for that. I always found there was a way to fit that.
I'm a little bit more mixed on it. I think there is some decent options for perplex and outwit in the set, and I do think the big help is that 008 Lex Luthor, which starts with the perplex if he fails leadership and pushes to outwit. But I always found that when I was playing, there wasn't a lot of outwit and perplex in this set.
If like you're not wrong, maybe the lucks of my pulls, but I know like every game I played, I had at least that one perplex, one leadership. If I could agree with you on one part, is maybe you'd only get one of them. So
Yeah,
my theme team has one perplex. My theme team has one outwit. And yes, it's nice to have more. I might still be riding high from our last sealed game where I had three perplex, three outwit, and then obviously team props.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's hard to get over. I
yeah,
think the other thing though is that there are good support figures. There is like the Star Lab scientist in the common slot, but she's not a Justice League figure, so I didn't play her that much.
no, yeah. And
So
we were really excited if you almost like pull two of them. Yeah, because then
yeah,
you could like do it twice. But again, what team were we putting them on?
exactly. So maybe it's not too bad for the support powers, and I think it's still hard to get past that Justice League thing. But even then, you have the Flash without wit. You have Batman with perplex. You have Doctor Fate who can push to prob. So
Yeah,
there are options.
there
I think
are
the thing
options.
is most of them are in the rares and super rare slot for like figures you really want to play though.
Mm-hmm. I'm on middle ground. I'll definitely say like a 5 out of 10 for the support power criteria.
Yeah, I think it definitely succeeds. It's just maybe it isn't the best set for support powers.
Nope.
Okay, next, taxis. How was it with taxiing your characters? Because in sealed it can be incredibly frustrating carrying stuff around and we're not being able to carry around and having to move your mishmash figures around the board, right?
Oh, geez. Well, first of all, let's give a little pat on the back for that common Green Lantern. He
Yeah.
really helped out with the need of taxis because this is a JLU set. And one thing I always remember from JLU or even the DC universe is everyone flies, and flyers can't carry flyers.
And that's kind of where any of the problems with this would come forth is that if you don't pull Green Lantern, most of your team flies.
Yeah, I played
And
a few teams actually like that where it's like, okay, I have to move my Wonder Woman. I could carry my Batman, but now my Fate has to fly, my Superman has to fly. If I have Sinestro, he has to fly. Yeah.
even Shining Knight starts with flying from his special movement power.
Oh yeah, it's not even optional, is it?
No. So
Oh.
everyone's flying in this Justice League, and it does lead to some issues if you don't pull the right figures.
Yeah, exactly. That common Green Lantern probably saw the majority of the play just for that. Let's not be wrong, like he had a nice little power set with him, but as soon as you saw that trait, you shoot him in there.
Yeah. I so because of that Green Lantern, I think that the set kind of escapes being a bad set for taxis, but it's
Yeah, but
certainly not the top.
no, you don't want to rely on one figure to make up for that boo boo. Now, I'd even put that at like a 4, a 3 out of 10 for the taxi problem.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think this set led to interesting team building when you were like pulling your figures, putting them together?
Mm, no, no. You looked at what you had. You basically looked and saw how many Justice League people you had first and foremost, and yeah, that was it. If you just looked at your things, Justice League, Justice League, Justice League. So no, there wasn't too much thought on it. I think my hardest decision ever building a team was, do I use a second common Lex Luthor or Amanda Waller? And it wasn't a hard decision Because rare Amanda Waller is great for Justice League.
Yeah, my hard decision was getting a Shining Knight or playing Shazam at a lower point value.
For a
I
Justice
just
League team.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you're not building a Justice League theme team, it's probably because you've pulled a Mazo or Rare Mazo or Dark Side. Like
Yeah.
at
I
that
guess
point,
with the little caveat that it's not fun for us because we've been playing for a while of like, oh, just the Justice League team. That being said, if you have a new person in your venue and Sealed's already intimidating as it is, it does help the new person. You know, you just tell the new person, build a Justice League team. You'll have better chances.
yeah. But I think other sets like Avengers and what was the new one, Captain America and the Avengers, they had enough Avengers that you could easily build an Avengers team. But there wasn't also enough Spies and Shield and Thunderbolts to kind of have a team.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I didn't think it was very challenging to build a theme team. The new person that ever was ever there, you just told them to build theme team. So, no, there wasn't a lot of thought when you built your team. Maybe even like a 2 out of 10 on this.
Yeah. Do you think there's any unbeatable figures in this set? Power
Well,
pieces?
we all know the dark horse in that one, bud. We all know the real answer there. It's Dark Side.
Darkseid is incredibly powerful for sealed. You can't pulse wave him. Yeah, you count on his first and last click, but not anywhere else. He has the works half the time. Like you can beat him. I have seen it happen in sealed, him being beaten, but it was people who were not playing it at its full strength, really.
Oh no, if you're beating Dark Side, it's because the pilot is making mistakes left, right, and center.
Yeah, because even if I mean, if you really want to be a jerk, you just phase away with Darkseid whenever they come close.
If you want to go for that win.
He never takes action tokens from using it, so you can never catch up to him.
He's not the only one though, right? Of that instant play, instant win mentality.
I think the rare Amazo is pretty good, having a 20 defense top dial for 290 points. I don't think he's nearly as instant win.
No, but you know, we were saying you basically play Justice League. The only time you decide not to is when if you pulled these pieces. Oh, I pulled the Dark Side. No, I just play the Dark Side. Oh, I pulled this Amazo. I just play the Amazo.
Yeah, if he never hit his 21 defense, he never dies. Like you never can win.
No, there's not enough, like you said, support powers to help out on that fight. I'd even say the rare Superman falls in that.
Oh, absolutely. His 3 stop clicks that you can heal from. I
Oh,
mean, you did kill mine, but it did require you to roll 3 in the 8s or 9s in a single turn.
yeah, and it required you to go with your, tried and true strategy of rolling fours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
So
manage to beat it, but it was again one of those, I don't know, cosmic, the planets aligned, I rolled so high. Which in the end, I guess Clix is a rolling game, but there's still
yeah.
percentages to pay attention to.
And even then, he's only 175, so you have enough for a whole other figure.
Yeah, that's probably going to lead on to our next criteria here of what makes a sealed set is were there lots of those instant picks or instant don't even bother?
Yeah.
Especially if those don't bothers are your rare and super rares. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of yes, as much as there was lots of figures that we wanted to play instantly upon pulling them, there's some that you just push to the side, like that Superman, the common Superman that we talked about.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, that's always the worst when there's always figures you don't even bother with. I'd even throw Jonah Hex in that.
Yeah. So, but those are both common. Is there any rare or super rares that you felt like you pulled them, you just pushed them to the side?
Do I want to say this and get in trouble? I remember when I was looking at what's his name? Oh wait, no, I like that. I like that one. I think it was like the rare Martian Manhunter. Not
No,
my favorite.
he's great.
Oh,
You're
I don't know.
crazy.
I didn't like him. I looked at
50,
him. I was like, okay.
he's 50 points for impervious shape change super senses.
Ah, you're right. I thought no. You're right. I don't know. I saw. I'm that biased guy though, where like, oh, I like my favorite figures. I just want to pull my favorite figures. And I know if I pulled the rare Martian Manhunter in my head, I was like, oh, I want the super rare Martian Manhunter.
Well, that's fair. I do think the rares is a lot better than you give them credit for.
You're
I
not
think
wrong.
the kind
There's
of
there's there's times where I was like, I don't want to do this, and then when we're building our teams, you're like, just run this person, and they make my team.
I
Did
think
you
the
have any
trashy
rares or
rares.
super rares? You just didn't bother? Probably your
I think
Warhawk.
the rare flash is bad. I think
Oh yes. I never even saw anyone run that.
the rare Supergirl is absolute trash.
Yeah. 2 point and clicky, and it's like again, it's like, oh, this is my rare.
Yeah, and it's point and click, but if you miss that click, she's done for a turn.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that is right. I never did pull her. I never saw her either. Probably for good reason.
And then in terms of super rares, I thought they were all pretty good, but I think the super rare Hawk Girl and the super rare Wonder Woman are both pretty questionable for sealed, especially since the Wonder Woman is really building upon a Justice Lord theme team, which is not happening.
No. Yeah, that would suck.
Oh, and
That would suck.
Mongol. Mongol's
But yeah,
not.
that's this set had a lot of those. Hey, instant plays or don't bother. You're not going to get to play them to their fullest potential in this set.
Do you think that builds that's for something that for a good sealed set or a bad sealed set?
No bad. It's the good sealed sets are the ones where you pull everything and oh my God, you could think of so many things. I have all these figures. I could play with these guys and have this kind of team where they get in fast, or I could pull these guys and now I have a team where I could bolster up with a bunch of support powers on a tent pole. This one was pull your guys, make a Justice League theme team, feel bad that your rare or super rare isn't going to fit that Justice League theme team.
Fair. So that leads into the question: do you think this is a Prince set or a Pauper set? A Prince set is a set where it really relies on you pulling good rares and super rares, and
Huh.
those being unbeatable. Where a Pauper set is where the power comes from the commons and the uncommons.
Oh, that's a concept. I've never heard this concept before. So a pauper set is where the commons and uncommons are the brunt, the big hullabaloo of the set, and then the
Yeah,
prince one is you hoping your rare and supers carry you through.
yeah, where it's like it. What defines the matchups is the quality of your rares or the quality of your commons, really.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez, I'd almost say if I look at, do I really get to say this when I got to play my one team of like a chase, a super rare, and two rares because people were passing on it?
I mean, I think that proves it though. How strong were
Oh,
those
that's
rares?
the rares and the super rare and chase really work well together.
I don't think
But
your
that,
chase had a lot of impact.
yes, absolutely. I don't know. Maybe this makes it a prince set if I think about it. Am I thinking about this right?
I think so. I would probably say it's a Prince set. There are some questionable rares and super rares, but like with all of the strength in the super rare and rare slot, like Dark Side, as we said,
Oh, Superman,
Mazo,
Amazo, Batman Beyond.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
I guess
Can
this
we?
would be a prince set, wouldn't it?
Yeah, both.
Oh,
They're
that's
just so strong.
oh, that's not too fun for a sealed though. When you only get really, you should really only get two, rare or super rare.
Yeah, and I mean it can be if all the super rares are built equally, then it can be a good print set because everyone is building around these really strong figures. If they're not equal, as like we said they weren't in this set, it can be lead to some kind of swingy games where you play against someone who pulled two Hawk Girls, a super rare and a rare, and then someone who pulled Dark Side, and you go, well, one of those guys is gonna win, one of those guys isn't.
Hands up in the air. Oh yeah, I never thought of that. A prince versus pauper. I've never heard that phrase before. I've always had the leaning of if you have great commons and uncommons, it just makes a better sealed experience.
And
So
it
yeah,
absolutely
if we're
does.
leaning towards that, you really wanted to see some good rares or super rares.
So, what do you think were the strengths of this set?
Oh, I'm pretty bad at this. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like my sealed stuff, but I always like was just hoping I pulled something I could have fun playing with as opposed to the ideas of what could happen with my pulls.
Yeah. Well, like you said earlier, though, this set is really great for beginners because they just build Justice League teams and usually have a pretty playable team, right?
Yeah, I'm a little beyond that. I'm not gonna lie. I played long enough that I like to see some complexity when I pull.
Yeah, but that's still it's a strength for this set is that it's definitely beginner friendly, which is good because it's the only DC set for this year. So if a DC fan comes in, they can make a good seal team.
So true, actually. Yeah, I am more of a Marvel fanboy. I think I lost half our viewers there. But for a DC fan, yeah, if you really like your Justice League, especially the animated series this is based off, you're not going to be disappointed. You're going to get a lot of JLU figures. You're going to be playing the JLU. You can relive some of the episodes if you pull those team up cards well.
And I think the other strength is that it's a fairly low complexity set. So it's once again it's an easy beginner set.
Yes, maybe that's what we're going with then. I could agree with you. This is a very beginner friendly set.
Another strength that I love is the generics in the set, generics, and also the like, what's his name, the Doctor Fate and the Joker. It's
Oh, so the
always nice
pieces you
to
want
pull those.
multiples of?
Exactly,
Can you
and you
say that
always
again?
want those for sealed.
Yeah, true, actually.
The more pieces that you need, especially in the commons and uncommon slot, the nicer it is to play sealed because then you're going to get some of those.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's some strengths.
And
Yeah.
then I guess the last strength I would say is that the chases do not define games. None of the chases are going to win you a game.
Oh, yeah, the chases were actually a nice little fun. You could put them on your team. They're not going to be game breaking. You could put them on the sideline. You could play them all kinds of different ways. That's a good way to look at it.
So what do you think the weaknesses were for this set?
Oh, again, no complexity to me. Build your Justice League theme teams. And honestly, for me, another down weakness for this set is there wasn't a lot of figures I was antsy to get. Like I know I wanted my Batman Beyond, but I could pass on a Big Barter. I could pass on a Warhawk. I could pass on a Mongol.
So
So
do you think that is because of their dial design or because that you're just not a big DC fan?
um, 30% your first one, 70% your last one.
Okay, because I think there's something
That's
to be said
from
that
me.
there's a lot of super rares that don't have a really interesting design. Like Big Barda, she's Charge Flurry, Mongol, who I genuinely like Mongol, but I have no desire to pick up this figure because it just doesn't do very much besides make theme teams from Brute and Warriors, which is cool. But when he's 150 points, you're not making a lot of theme teams.
No, no, no,
So
no.
I would say there is a lot of kind of weaker dials in this set.
Yeah, there's some dials where, man, you see some of the powers and even the stats on previous sets or even the previews of the next one coming up. You're kind of left to wonder they must have had a totally separate team and a totally different design behind these dials.
And my final weakness is about team up cards. I don't think they were impactful and sealed.
I don't think I ever saw a team of card play. Did you?
No, it just because sealed ends up with you oftentimes playing more than one of the same figure. You can't play team up cards if you have duplicate figures. I know one of your opponents had one for Cheetah and Lex, but they couldn't play it because they had two Jokers on their team.
Oh, I did not know they passed up a team up card for that. You must have been sitting beside them when they were building it.
Yeah.
Ah, I honestly, that's a great idea, like great point of a downside to this, but I am gonna say I never had it in my head of a team up card making any difference in sealed. To me,
No,
team up cards is a collector's thing. here you go, collect it to play with for fun or even maybe meta. There's probably going to be some meta team up cards out there. I never saw it as an impact for sealed.
But don't you think it would be fun if it was impactful for sealed?
Well, obviously, but how do you even make that work? You'd have to up the team up cards and per brick because you would need more options. Most of the time, you didn't even pull a team up card, and if you did, it was one. And did those characters even match up? Not really.
Yeah, that's the big thing is the more team up cards you have, the easier it is.
Yes, the percentages were way too low to even, in my head, count it as a sealed option.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something we can criticize the set for. So you pull these things, they look cool, and then you never use them.
Oh, yeah, true. Hey, especially if you're like, oh, yeah, this is a great team-up card, and you don't pull the other figures to make it work. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a missed opportunity because sealed is an important part of the game. Mm-hmm. And having a whole element that you find in your booster that you can't use, little kind of disappointing. I think maybe in like team sealeds where they're opening like 6 boosters to a brick maybe now, that those team up cards might actually be useful because you're going to open 3 and probably have the figures to actually use them with.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best time those cards are going to be used on a sealed event.
Will there actually be any team sealeds of this set though? Because by the time we have another event, we're going to be into Spider-Man or still in Fantastic Four.
Yep. Is this the set that WizKids was planning on using on their big convention?
I would assume so, but I can't know for sure.
No, and I'm not even sure that convention's running.
Okay, so here's the final question before we rate the set. What was your favorite sculpt from the set?
The one I can tell you right now, I just like that Adam Micron. He looked cool. Nice little effects behind him. It looked super cool. If you were walking by a table, you'd want to ask, like, holy crap, why does this one have so much more going for it than, the common Superman? What's going on there? I love that sculpt. It looks so cool. How about you? What was your favorite sculpt?
I was actually going to say the Atom too, so I'll change my mind, and I will say Booster Gold. I thought, he's just flying, but with Skeets coming up there. And I just liked it. I thought it was a really good sculpt.
You know what was another head turner? That Super Martian Manhunter.
Oh, yeah.
That thing stands 3 times as tall as every other one. You're going to get attention.
And same with Darkseid, actually, with his big, blue laser blast coming out of his hand.
Yeah, I always liked that, those, kind of see-through colored effects. He had that. Adam Micron had that. I think those just always look so fun.
They haven't done them as much recently. I remember the Flash set was just full of it, with the Flash was running in so many different ways and having the trails.
Oh, really? Oh, I do. Yes. Then they even colored the trails to match his little armband color or his boot colors.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's right. Well, I could see why it's not done as much. It's pretty expensive, I bet.
Maybe I don't think that part of it is as expensive. The molding of it, because they're all see through in the. They paint them, right?
Yes. I'll definitely say Adam. Adam had one of the coolest sculpts. Do we do the least impressive sculpt? Is that even worth doing?
I don't think it's worth doing. There's so many. If we would, I would just say I hate flashes without any sense of momentum, and this one was especially bad.
Yeah,
just him standing there with his arms up.
I went with Cheetah.
Yeah.
I do my mods. I do my painting. I'll steal a sculpt and paint and all that. And my little criteria on that is it doesn't have to look great for a mod, but it could be customizable. Cheetah, if you were to use this sculpt to repaint, it's a Cheetah character. There's no way to mod this to make it look like anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you'd ever want to mod the Flash either, because he's in the stupidest pose.
So is that our criteria? Is that our thing of what goes in our mind when we play our sealed and if it's good or bad?
I think so. Can you think of anything to add there?
Not really. I think a little disclaimer of like everyone's got their own criteria of what makes a sealed set enjoyable. As you heard from us, Stuart was very analytical about what figures offered what and the building of the teams. I came from a more biased standpoint of are these characters I even enjoy in the comics slash cartoons with a bit of analytics. So everyone has their own criteria of what makes a sealed set good or bad.
Yeah, and what we're planning to do is in the future go back and rate old seal sets for how their quality too.
Exactly. What would you give this, Stuart? If you had to give this a 1 out of 10 for the sealed experience, how does Justice League Unlimited rate for you?
For me, it gets a 6.
A
It
6 out of 10, so above the average.
Yes, I think maybe right, maybe a 5. It's a 5 or 6.
When I use that language, well, I got to change my numbers now.
It's not. There was nothing offensive about the set, like in the animated Batman set, where the common Batman Beyond just ran the whole game, and if you got one, you won, and you didn't get one, you lost. But it's not an exciting set to play, and if
Okay.
it's not exciting, I'm really not interested in continuing to play it.
Okay.
How about you, Dennis?
Okay, so honestly, I'm at a 5 out of 10, maybe a 4. The most exciting parts where in a sealed game were literally just the first ones that started the battle. That was where I was like, my brain's on, I have to think about it. Pull things, didn't have to think too hard. Oh, opening maneuvers, a little bit of thinking. Later in the game, it felt like a lot of just rolling dice. Who do I position here? What support power? I don't have support powers. Okay, we're just gonna roll some dice now. I'm just gonna throw my 7 attack out, hope it works. I got nothing else I can do.
Yeah,
That's those almost every later game felt like that.
it
Not many
felt like a lot
tricks.
of beating, like just punching back and forth, and
Yeah,
not a lot of like game-changing moments where you like perplex someone up, run out, kill something in one attack.
yeah. Well-timed barrier. Let's use my outwits to do this. No, so it's and again, I'm more on that bias thing. I think everyone's going to be hating on Dennis after this. He doesn't like Justice League. That's why it's such a slow set and everything. You wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong. But
But
I don't think I would be wrong in saying a
yeah,
lot of this just ended up being dice rolls.
we're looking past the figures right now and just judging it as a play experience. And this was not my favorite play experience.
No, I could definitely say that very wholeheartedly. It wasn't my favorite. A
Yeah,
lot of point and click, and the clicking wasn't too fun.
exactly.
That being said,
Regardless of
I
our
love
feelings.
Hero Click, so I still had fun playing Hero Clicks.
Yeah, it's not the worst. It's a great beginner set. Everything's very straightforward and easy. But I don't know. I don't want to play any more of it. I'm happy to see it gone and see Fantastic Four take its place.
Yes, I'm very excited for that. So there's our official ratings on Justice League Unlimited. I think before we close this episode, are we going to have more inductions into our personal cube?
Absolutely. Are you ready to induct our next two figures?
I am. Do you want to go first or second? I'm good that way.
I'll go first this time.
Okay.
I think I went first last time too, but who cares? So last time I inducted Industrial Spy, and Dennis inducted Taskmaster from the Avengers and the Black Panther set. Black
Yes.
Panther and the Illuminati.
Yes.
Today I'm going to an uncommon Fabian Cortez from X-Men the Animated Series, The Dark Phoenix Saga.
Ooh, let's look at this man.
So Mr. Cortez is 5 clicks of life for 45 points, but he has a trait that really defines him. And so, as a
Okay.
power action, he can choose an adjacent character and modifies those characters' combat values, all of them, by +1 until your next turn. And then at the end of your turn, you roll a d6, and on a 3 to 6, it deals the chosen character 1 unavoidable damage and heals Fabian Cortez 1 click. Now, notice it didn't say a friendly character. So this can be used as a power action just to deal 1 damage to a character that's pushed, and then also heal Fabian Cortez. On top of that, he has damage power, enhancement, and leadership. He can choose a character with Acolytes or Brotherhood of Mutants or X-Men keyword and give that character Mastermind for them to but only to use on Fabian Cortez. And he has decent values, decent range, nothing like really exceptional, but he's a great support figure that can really do a lot of different things. That's why I really love him.
That's a fun little inductee. The keywords are just acolytes, but when you have powers like that, it's just a fun little thing to mess with people or even to assist yourself.
Yeah. What about you, Dennis?
Shift by far is such a better power these days. Instant one extra action token. You can't go wrong with that. Okay.
So what's your inductee?
You may actually remember this guy. It was in my first massive sealed tournament where there was like OP prize. I think it was called like a con in your store. And this is going to hark back to almost our grading of a sealed set. I'm going all the way back to World's Finest. I'm going to induct 023 Uncommon Desaad. This guy was my linchpin when we played, and he is just an amazing figure. So he's at 75 points with 7 range, 2 targets, only 5 clicks. You're not going to care too much about this. He has a trait. At the beginning of the game, the highest point friendly character on the map, not named Desaad, becomes his master. When his master damages one or more opposing characters and actions resolve, you remove an action token from Desaad. This is going to play in on how this guy is ran. So this guy has phasing teleport for 12 squares. There's nowhere he's not going to get. Once he gets there, he's going to use his special damage power, which is Outwit. When he does, after actions resolve, so basically after you claim an Outwit, he can use Perplex targeting the same opposing character. So he's going to phase for 12. You're going to choose your target, Outwit the defense, Perplex it down, and then use your master to hit this guy big. So, and again, if your master takes damage, what happens to Desaad? He loses an action token. So you can keep going as long as the master keeps attacking. And the cherry on top, his special defense is toughness. When he's targeted by an attack and his master's within 7 squares, you may choose to replace his defense value with the printed defense value of his master. So you're rocking maybe a 17, 18 defense instead of his 16. This guy is almost like in a scout kind of little role. Go out there, ruin this guy's life, have your master come clean up.
Sounds good. So do you think that in the modern game that he would still be worth 75 points?
That's tough, mainly because his master has to be more points. If it was literally just choose a master, honestly, at 75 points for someone who could phase, Outwit, Perplex, and then have an action token take off when that works, I would still look at this guy. Let's not forget, he's still rocking a 7-2 target energy explosion. So if he needs to be offensive, he can.
He is good. Here's the thing about Cube, though. You make your own rules for Cube. If we wanted to, we could just say, well, you know, in our Cube, Desaad's 65.
Holy jeez. I would want to pull that guy left, right, and center if this guy was 60 or lower.
So do you think we should maybe just set him at 60 for a Cube?
We should make a cool little thing of how many years they've been away, out of modern is minus 5 points.
Let's see. Desaad.
Yeah, let's look this up.
2016. So he would be 55 points.
Well, because he's been out of modern for 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. 3. So
he would be 60. We could literally go. He's been out of modern for 3 years. He is now 60 points.
Because the thing about Cube is it is totally up to you. We could just say, that trait at the beginning, choose the highest point friendly figure. I mean, The thing is, it doesn't have to be higher points than Desaad. It's just the highest point not named Desaad.
Exactly. That'd be just as easy.
That's actually what it says.
The highest point friendly that is not Desaad. So basically, you have to have someone above him.
No.
That's right. I could. Oh man, you know what? Maybe we don't even have to change him then.
I still think cutting off at least 10 points would really make him an enjoyable figure to play.
Yeah, when you see that 10 attack. No, let's do it. This guy is 65 points in our cube. Let's pull this guy now.
There we go. I would definitely play him for 65. I would probably question it a little bit at 75, but now he's definitely playable.
Yeah.
'Cause
There
we
we
don't
go.
want
Our next
sorry.
two inductees.
Because the thing about Cube is you don't want bad options. Every option needs to be someone you want to play, and at 65, Desaad is that.
Good, good.
Well, I think that's it for today.
Yes, it is. To all our listeners who were raging against me and my bias against the DC, I apologize. I do sincerely hope you enjoyed your sealed experience. I'd sure like to hear the enjoyable ones. Change my mind, world. I'm actually very open to it.
All right, so until next time, I'm Stuart.
I'm Dennis. This has been our Clicks Are Sealed. Later.